The Black Death, a pandemic that devastated Europe from 1346 to 1353, remains one of the most mysterious and deadly events in human history. But what really caused this catastrophic event? The disease was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, primarily spread by flea bites. As we delve into the history of the Black Death, we find that it led to the death of up to 50 million people, or 50% of Europe's 14th century population. The term Black Death was first attested in 1755, but the phrase had occasionally been applied to other fatal or dangerous diseases before its use to describe the 1346 to 1353 pandemic. The 1347 pandemic plague was not referred to specifically as black at the time, in any European language. As we explore the history of the Black Death, we find that the European population did not regain its 14th century level until the 16th century. Research from 2017 suggests that plague first infected humans in Europe and Asia in the late Neolithic to early Bronze Age. Additionally, research in 2018 found evidence of Yersinia pestis in an ancient Swedish tomb. The symptoms of bubonic plague are first attested in a fragment of Rufus of Ephesus preserved by Orobasius. The pandemic was reportedly first introduced to Europe during the siege of the Genoese trading port of Kaffa in Crimea by the Golden Horde army of Yani Beg in 1347. The Black Death mainly spread from person to person as pneumonic plague. As the disease spread, it had far-reaching population, economic, and cultural effects. A 2026 study found traces of Yersinia pestis DNA in the teeth of 18 ancient hunter-gatherers from 4 cemeteries near Lake Baikal in Siberia. Carbon dating revealed 2 outbreaks, with the earliest cases dating to approximately 5,500 years ago. This discovery sheds new light on the origins of the Black Death. Yersinia pestis was discovered by Alexander Yersin in 1894. Paul Louis Simond established the mechanism by which Y. pestis is usually transmitted in 1898. Definitive confirmation of the role of Y. pestis arrived in 2010 with a publication in PLOS Pathogens by Hensch et al. Schunemann et al. Concluded in 2011 that the Black Death in medieval Europe was caused by a variant of Y. pestis that may no longer exist. Boss et al. Reported in 2011 the first draft genome of Y. pestis from plague victims from the East Smithfield Cemetery. The Y. pestis strain responsible for the Black Death is the ancestor of later plague epidemics and the descendant of the strain responsible for the plague of Justinian. The oriental rat flea has poor survival in cooler climates, while the human flea was the principal vector of plague epidemics in northern Europe. Epidemics killed an estimated 25 million across Asia during the 15 years before the Black Death reached Constantinople in 1347. The Silk Road had already been heavily disrupted before the spread of the Black Death. Western and Middle Eastern traders found it difficult to trade on the Silk Road by 1325 and impossible by 1340. Plague was reportedly first introduced to Europe via Genoese traders from their port city of Kaffa in the Crimea in 1347. The epidemic in Constantinople lasted a year, but the disease recurred 10 times before 1400. The disease spread rapidly all over Sicily in October 1347. Galleys from Kaffa reached Genoa and Venice in January 1348. The outbreak in Pisa was the entry point into northern Italy. The disease spread northwest across Europe, striking France, Spain, Portugal, and England by June 1348. The disease was introduced into Norway in 1349 when a ship landed at Ascoi. The disease spread to northern Russia in 1352 and reached Moscow in 1353. China's population fell by at least 15% and perhaps as much as a third, between 1340 and 1370. Public Health England announced the results of an examination of 25 bodies exhumed in the Clerkenwell area of London in 2014. Researchers suggested an alternative model in which the disease was spread from human fleas and body lice to other people in 2018. As we conclude our journey through the history of the Black Death, we are reminded of the devastating impact it had on human history.